Pretty Tarot YouTube channel here, and I'm not going to do a reading right now, but I'm going to do one after I do this video. And pretty much what this video is about. Um, I just been thinking about some things, and sometimes when I'm thinking or I'm even going through some things, I feel the need to speak on them. So I want to point out the shirt that I'm wearing, okay? And it says, "Be the energy you want to attract." Be the energy you want to attract. Now, this may look like it's flipped around for you guys for some reason, possibly because that's the way cameras tend to work when they're recording, and I have it on selfie mode. So that may be the reason why you can't see it, but that's what it says. And I wear this shirt quite often. It's one of my favorite shirts because um, it's a reminder to myself and it's a reminder to others around me that um, this is really important. Like any spiritualist or any person who they're living a positive life, they're living a good life, they are experiencing the things that they want. They understand that energy. They understand that important lesson in life. And I want to say before I go any further, go to your settings and click on speed and then set it to either 1.5 or 2x, okay? That will speed the video up to where you can hear this video in half the amount of time, but you'll still be able to hear everything that I'm saying because I really don't know how long I'm going to be actually talking, okay? And I want you guys to be able to hear these messages without feeling like, dang, she talks too much, whatever. Because I want to be able to say what it is I need to say and you guys not feel discouraged from it, okay? I do talk a lot, but I'm just speaking from my experiences. I'm speaking for wisdom. I'm speaking from education. I have a psychology background. No, I'm not a professional psychologist, counselor, or therapist. So if you need a therapist or a psychologist, or if you need that kind of help, please do seek it from someone who is licensed to do that, okay? I'm just using everything that I have in terms of skills and experience and just real life experiences, in a way to help life coach people, okay? So I would be considered more like a life coach or just a motivational speaker per se, like a motivational speaker, actually, something like that. So, yeah, so let me get back to the topic. So, yeah, be the positive energy that you want to attract, or be the energy you want to attract. And my shirt says be the energy you want to attract, okay? In fact, let me see if I can flip this to where you guys can see it. Yeah, I can. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully. Don't know what you can see or whatever, but oops. I need to, that thing was dusty. But anyway, yeah, so that's really important to understand. Deepak Chopra, he's one of Oprah's most sought after spiritualist gurus, life coaches, whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of his quotes and sayings as well. But it's an old quote. It's an old quote. It's an old saying, and it literally resonates on so many levels. It is something that I've been resonating with lately in terms of I truly realize that we are a reflection of what we're seeing. Like what we see in others is a reflection of where we're at. Even if we don't realize it, other people that we're dealing with is showing us something about ourselves. It's mirroring energy that we're not able to see in ourselves from ourselves. So we're having it presented to us through other people. Okay. We literally attract what it is that we are, the kind of energy we're holding on to, the things we're thinking about, the things we're focused on. And some of the things we attract is not always the most positive. And I know some of you are going to say, whatever, that's not true. Why am I attracting jerks and assholes and bitches and things like that? But it's not to say that you are that kind of person. But what are the kind of qualities that that kind of negative person has? Do you have any of those qualities? Do you have any of those characters? Do you somehow mirror those things and you don't even realize it? Because everyone likes to think that they are a perfect, well-rounded, positive, good, sweet person, but we all have our flaws. And the one thing that we're guilty of in today's modern westernized society is everyone thinks they're perfect, or they're so, everyone thinks they're innocent, everyone thinks, oh, they can do no wrong. And that's not true. And it's because we're taught that flaws is a weakness. To have any flaws or to have any errors or to make any mistakes is to be a weak person, or to have weaknesses, or to be someone who is not ideal or less than perfect. And that's not necessarily true. To have any flaws, to make errors, to make mistakes, that is being human. That is being human. And if you even look at it from a spiritual or even religious aspect, we are is the same message that we weren't created perfectly. We are not um, perfect. We're prone to ways of the flesh. We're prone to ways of the world. You know what I'm saying? But we're supposed to resist these things. And but if you step away from even a religious or spiritual aspect, somewhere you have to realize that people are not robots. And because people are not robots, we are not programmed or cannot be programmed to be perfect. We can program ourselves subconsciously, on a subconscious level and even on a conscious level, to be aware of our behaviors, to be aware of prior or past mistakes, and to try to avoid making mistakes and errors, and try to avoid doing things that may be not good or harmful, and to try to learn new habits and behavior, patterns and behavior and things. But we're not wired to be perfect. So we're prone at some point to make an error or make a mistake. We have will as well. So our free will can dictate a lot of what we choose or choose to not do, or what we're able to do or not able to do. Okay, so um, really pay attention to the people you're around. Prime example, um, I know someone in my family who they always seem to feel like uh, they struggle to have friends, and they struggle to maintain friendships that are long standing, long term friendships. And they asked me, I said, well, why do you have friends that you've known since childhood, or that you've known since college or whatever? How do you even hang on to friends beyond a few years? And I told them, well, it's because I only hang with people who reflect the kind of person I am, for the most part. Birds of a feather flock together. That saying rings true. So I'm a kind of person who values friendships, and therefore I tend to hold on to friendships. But beyond that, I'm a good friend. I'm a real friend. So those are the kind of people I want to deal with, and those are the kind of people that sometime I attract, sometime I don't. But when I see people who they reflect the kind of, character that I have, I value it, and I hold, and I try to do what I can to make sure that that kind of person who has that same character that I have, integrity, respectfulness, kindness, generosity, those kind of things, honesty. I hang on to those people through being the same kind of person that they are, and they do the same thing for me. They see that I have those characteristics, and therefore they appreciate it, and they try to present those characteristics to me the same, with the understanding that that's how you maintain those kind of people with that kind of energy, is you have to reflect it in order to maintain it, in order to keep it, in order for it to stay strong energy around you, in terms of people that are around you. If you are a temperamental, fiery person who is all about drama, and you can't seem to stay away from drama, and you got some people say, well, I don't love drama, it loves me. No, you love drama if you seem to keep finding yourself surrounded by drama and dramatic people. People just don't like to admit it to themselves, because if you don't like drama, a person who doesn't like drama, they run from it that quick. They don't give into it. They won't sit there and argue with somebody. They won't, especially not over something petty or ridiculous. They won't want to give into arguments. They actually will want to be more agreeable if it means dismantling that argument. And they won't want to get upset and fiery with others, regardless if someone else is. If they see someone else getting angry and fiery and stuff, they're more likely someone who doesn't want that kind of energy to try to be more peaceful and calm around that kind of energy. And they're more likely to remove themselves as well from a situation or a person who carries that kind of energy, especially if it's frequent. You know, um, Something I had to learn personally is that I'm not necessarily a temperamental, angry, dramatic person. It's just that I had allowed people who are those kind of people, or people who are trivial, people who like to be, um, what's the word I'm looking for? People who like to cause dissension, people who like to be divisive, people who like to be argumentative, people who like to compete and challenge other people all the time. There's people like that. There are people who literally they look for people to challenge, fight, compete with, be divisive with, because they feed off of that energy. You have people, they feed off of that. And not to stereotype, not to stereotype any kind of zodiac signs, but I've noticed that people with fire energy in their chart, such as fire zodiac signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, not as much Sagittarius as it is Aries and Leo. Aries and Leo is very strong, dominant, fiery energy that used in a healthy, um, high vibration can be wonderful energy to work with. And you get a lot of leaders, good leaders, to have that kind of energy. um, you get strong competitors who maybe who have that kind of energy, people who are great dancers or great athletes or whatever, because that's serious energy that if used positively, it can create the most wonderful results. You get people who stand up for the greater good of all with that kind of energy. But when you get fire energy in a low vibration, meaning a negative vibration, um, you get the worst of the worst of behaviors and just situations. You know what I'm saying? With people who carry fire energy, but they don't carry it responsibly. Okay, so I've noticed somebody who has that energy somewhere in their birth or natal chart, if they aren't aware of it and they're not aware that they have to carry that energy responsibly and that they need to use it with a high or positive vibration, they tend to, and it's the same thing with water signs as well. Water signs have their own energy, that emotional energy, and they can become negative and consuming if they're not aware how to use that energy. But I've noticed people who tend to be combative, argument or things like that, they tend to carry some fire energy somewhere in their chart. But they don't understand that they need to carry that energy responsibly. I've seen people with fire energy and they carry the energy responsibly, and they're the most awesome people in the world. They're the funnest people. They're leaders. They're charismatic. They're confident, and they know how to lead and encourage other people to be the best of themselves as well. And I like fire energy people as long as they are people who are responsible and they're aware of the energy they're working with, and they use it for good instead of allowing themselves to succumb to the negative. So if you're a fire sign or you got fire anywhere in your natal birth chart, no offenses, I'm speaking honestly, and really I just complimented you guys that you guys are awesome. Like, I love fire signs when you guys know how to use your energy. Okay, I like any sign really if they know how to use their energy, but especially fire signs are my favorite when they know how to use that energy in a really positive, high vibration or whatever. I run from people with fire energy in their chart if they do not know how to use it responsibly, because they tend to bring out the worst in me. Okay, and I have to catch myself and say, "Oh, Nope, nope, nope. You're bringing that negative, combative energy to me, and I don't want it. You're bringing this negative energy to me, and I don't want it. I'll do that with any sign, though. Anybody with any kind of energy, whether it's earth, water, fire, air, or whatever. But I seem to get that the most with them. But it's one of those things where you just pay attention. Pay attention. Because for some of us, it's our challenge to deal with certain elements and certain energy in people because it's to help us progress and grow. And when you start to see the patterns and you start to recognize the behaviors and you start to recognize the roles you're playing, the dynamics. I have another video about dynamics. Take a look at it if you don't understand what I mean by that. But when you get to see the pattern, you get to see the dynamics and the roles that you're playing with other people with these energies, because everything we're here to do on this planet is to learn and to grow and to elevate spiritually, because we're not just physical beings. We're also spiritual beings. And a lot of our experiences revolve around the lessons we're here to learn. So pay attention to the patterns, pay attention to who's around you, what kind of energy they're working with, and how they're using it, and how it affects you, because that it helps you to adjust your energy, and therefore you can start removing energies away from you that don't work for you, and you can start to attract the energies that do work for you, and you can draw some boundary lines as well, like I said, I noticed in certain people, like, hey, you're always bringing me combative energy, and that combative energy, that argumentative ways, and wanting to argue, wanting to challenge me in unhealthy ways, and wanting to compete in unhealthy ways. See, there's nothing wrong with competition or being challenged as long as it is in a healthy way. But when someone is always coming at you in a way that feels negative or combative, you have to watch out for people who do that, because those are the people who they secretly crave drama. And when they don't have drama, or they don't have what they feel is a challenge, because some of them will describe it as they just like a challenge. They need a challenge. It keeps them stimulated. It makes them feel alive. And that's the reason why I say sometimes fire signs are guilty of that, because their energy is alive energy. It's very alive energy. But they have to understand that they can experience that without it going to the negative. But you have people, they look for a challenge, and they will look for it in you, even if it's not in a positive way. The best way they should find that is in maybe playing sports, or maybe taking up a competition of any kind. You know, to join the damn debate team, anything, join a chess competition or something, anything, but literally sit there and give other people a hard time just because it gives you a buzz, or it gives you a high, or it just makes you feel alive, or it makes you feel like you have a worthy component to go against. Like, you have people who really do that. And if you're not aware that of that kind of dynamic you have with someone, and that they're always bringing the energy to you, you can't stop it. And it's important to be able to stop it. Um, because otherwise they will suck you in, and they'll cause you to be negative, and they'll cause you to be argumentative. And these same kind of people will try to say, you're the issue, you're the negative one, you're the one who's argumentative, you're the one who's dramatic, you're the one who likes drama. And that's not true. It's just that you're surrounded sometimes with these people, and you could be that person, but sometimes it's not always you. Sometimes it's the other person who they're pulling you into that energy that they have, that they're secretly harboring, that they may not even want to be honest with. And sometimes they don't even know that's the kind of energy that they have, and they're not using it in the right way. Some people, they're unaware because they're not as into the spiritual side of life. But once they start to learn, they'll realize these things eventually, you know. Um, but in me learning this, I'm quick to now see it in people and say, nope, you know what? I can't deal with that kind of energy from you. So unless you're going to bring me elevated, high vibrational energy, or positive energy, or be more positive with me, then I'm gonna go over here onto this side over here. And it's not to say I'll cut people off entirely, but I'll watch people and I'll give people chances to grow. I'll give people chances to recognize where they're less than perfect and give them chances to grow, change, improve, whatever. And if I see they're trying to do better, great, But if I see that, somebody's trying to send me a text message, but if I see that someone, they're not trying, then as I'm side shuffling over here, come out, you know what, I'm just going to step over here and water these flowers, or I'm going to step over here and go look at this book or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that I'm trying to I find ways to just, I'm going to keep side shuffling to the point where I may not talk to this person for a day or two, or I may not, talk to them for a week or a few weeks, to eventually I may not talk to them ever again until they bring themselves forth and acknowledge and be willing to change or whatever, And depending on what somebody does, it's a no go ever again. But um, yeah, be aware of that. And I want to point out something, with friendships, relationships, things like that, people will not always be perfect. And it's okay if you take time apart from people when you see their behavior a certain way. And it's okay to accept the person back if they're showing you that they are aware that they have been less than perfect and that they're willing to change. You know, uh, for me, it's not enough for someone, if I stop talking to you because you're being negative, it's not enough, and I want to just say this: treat yourself and your energy like this is a job that you have to continually work at in order to maintain the positive energy, because maintaining positive energy, maintaining positive friendships, positive family situations, positive attracting positive mates and partners, and having positive relationships with them, it's continual work. It's never just you attract the people you want, who have the energy you want, and you never have to do anything again. No, it's continual work. So you should treat it like it's a job. And you treat jobs with what? You treat jobs responsibly. You're responsible with a job. You treat jobs seriously, okay? Because it pays you. This pays you too. It's paying your energy. It's paying your peace of mind. It's paying into your life and your lifestyle that you want, when you treat it with that such. So if you're looking for a friend, you're looking for a partner, you're looking to see who do you want to maintain in your life, no matter who they are, you treat it like you are accepting resumes and people are putting in applications, and you already have a checklist on what are the requirements for these people who are working with you at your job. Like, you're the boss at this job, okay? So this is your job, or it's your business. Matter of fact, it sounds better that it's your business. It's your job, it's your business, right? You're not going to hire just anybody to work at this job that you have, or to work with you, or to work at your business, right? You're only going to hire the best, or the people who show the most potential. People who show the most potential, meaning they don't have to be perfect, but they show strong potential. You're going to pick the strongest candidates. That's not nitpicking people. It's just saying you're going to take the time to observe these people and to allow them to prove themselves to be qualified for the job, qualified for the position, qualified to work with you. Okay, so whether you're expecting to have a team, or you're expecting to just, you run things like it's a business, I don't know, but this is another way to look at how you view people that you're accepting into your life, or people who want to come into your life. You don't, it's like your house, your home, your body's your temple, period. Anyway, you're not gonna let just anybody in, right? You ain't gonna let anybody just because they knock on the door and say, "Hey, let me in." Well, why should I let you in? Can I trust you? And what purpose would you serve here if I were to let you in? Let's say if I can trust you, what purpose would you serve? They have to have a role. Okay, either they're your support, or they're your fun buddy, or something that is, there for fun and good times or whatever. But make sure they're also good for the down times too, because there will be times you have down times. At least minimally make sure they're supportive people. Okay, at least make sure they're minimally that. Um, you're not going to accept just anybody if you're hiring them to work for your business, if you're hiring them to be on your team, if somebody wants to come to your house, you're not going to just let anybody in just because, you know what I'm saying, especially if they're a stranger. So take that into account, you know. um, and if you find that you didn't hire somebody or you didn't let somebody come into your home and they're showing you that they really don't have potential or they don't really truly qualify for the position or the job of being your friend or being your significant other or being someone you can trust, to support you and things like that, and they don't appreciate what you offer them as the employer, as the teammate, as the someone who's welcoming them into your home, who's open, then it's okay to fire people. It's okay to let them go, or it's also okay to put people on probation though before you fire them. But you don't keep putting them on probation and then you keep threatening to fire them and you don't do it. No. What do most employers do? 3 strikes and you're out, right? 3 strikes and you're out. So you keep that in mind. You give people 3 chances. And that's if it's something serious that they're messing up with, not little Mickey Mouse stuff. And I say Mickey Mouse is something silly. So nothing silly, nothing frivolous, nothing small and trivial, nothing petty, but something serious where you have to question, are they qualified for the job, the position? Are they qualified to be on this team that you've built? You know what I'm saying? If you're team Lisa or team uh team what's the guy's name? Team John or whatever your name is, whoever you are, you have a team of people that are around you or that are you involved with in your life. And this is a team that is there to support you and you're there to support them. You don't want anybody on your team. You're not going to let some loser on your team, not the judge, but you're not going to let somebody who doesn't deserve or who's not putting in their fair share of the work there. Same thing if you're looking at it as if you have a business. You're not going to have anybody just in your business or work with your business if they're not really there to help that business grow. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention to these things, you guys. Pay attention, hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable, and understand the dynamics that people play with you, and understand that if you're an insecure person, you're just going to attract insecure people. Okay? Um, because that energy is, you may not recognize or identify the energy, but your spirit and your soul does recognize and identify with similar energy. So on some subconscious level, you're attracting things to you that you don't even know you're attracting. People who are successful like to be around other successful people. Even if they're mentoring people, they still view people as being successful minded. So it's still similar energy that they may not be at their level yet, but they're going to help them rise to that level through mentoring. People who have fun and they enjoy life, they like to hang around other people who do the same thing. So if you like to have fun, you're going to want to hang around other people who like to have fun and like to have the same kind of fun. If you have an idea about the kind of life you want to live, the kind of things you want to do, the kind of people you want to be around, reflect that. So if you want to say, like you're like, if you're looking around and the person you're dating or the person you're with or the friends you're with, and you start feeling like, I'm bored. The people around me don't like to do the things I like to do. It doesn't mean you have to dump those people. That's up to you if you want to do that. That's optional. Doesn't mean you have to do it though. If they're still good people, it's not recommended that you dump them. It's hard to find good people, but you might want to start doing the things that you feel would be exciting and fun. And when you do, like let's say you want to go mountain climbing, okay? Let's say if you want to go mountain climbing because you think that's going to be fun and interesting, okay? And you feel like that'll put some excitement in your life. You may meet other people doing that. You're going to probably join a group or something, and you're going to start meeting other people who wants to do mountain climbing or who are doing mountain climbing. And beyond mountain climbing, they probably do other fun and exciting activities that they think is fun and exciting. And they'll probably, as you start to build friendships with them and trust with them, they're going to invite you to do the same things. And they'll say, well, you know what? I also like skydiving. So, I'm going skydiving in a month. You want to join me? You know what I'm saying? And so therefore you're going to start to hang and attract people who they reflect the kind of lifestyle or the energy that you're into. And it's the same thing with, like I said, if you want to be around people who they have high integrity and they're respectful and things like that, you're going to behave that way yourself and you're going to treat other people that way. You want to attract a partner who they're really sweet and romantic and they treat you with a lot of love and respect. Treat yourself that way. Okay, treat yourself romantically. Buy yourself flowers and candy and take yourself to nice places to eat. And you don't have to do it with other people. You can do it with other people like friends and family. But you can treat yourself that way. And you'll start attracting people who are like that, because the very moment you decide to go out and eat at this nice restaurant that you like, or that you've always wanted to go to, or that you hope someone else would take you to, guess what's going to happen? You might very well meet someone at that restaurant who also is there eating by themselves, who, they may find you attractive and you may find yourself attractive, or you may just spark up conversation, not even realizing that there's any attraction at all. And next thing you know, you realize, hey, there's some attraction there. They may ask you out sometime. They may say, you know what, or it may never be that one time, but you may regularly start eating at places that you think is ideal, places that you feel like if someone were to take you out, that's where you want to go. Treating yourself good, you will run into people who will, they're doing the same thing, and they'll see you and they'll say, you know what, I noticed you're always here eating at this restaurant and that your favorite food is blah, blah, blah. Or they'll ask you what's your favorite food. You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised. You would be surprised what may happen. Okay? So be what it is you want to attract. Okay? Someone who doesn't have the same energy as you, you're going to bump heads. You're going to bump heads because your energy isn't alike. You're not seeing eye to eye. When you see that, you can try to build bridges to understanding, which will take patience. But if you see that bridge can't be built, know when to call it quits and say, you know what? We can't build a bridge together. We can't see eye to eye. We just don't think alike. We don't have the same values or the same principles. So maybe we're not really good for each other. Therefore, we should call it a day and just move it forth and just not really deal with each other. You have some people, you could have all the potential in the world with one another. You don't have to be exactly alike. Sometimes people are complementary to one another with your energy. So even if your energy isn't exactly the same, you may find that your energy somehow it clicks and it fits together and it complements one another. A mechanical machine, it may have nuts and bolts, but it also has electrical system that helps it run, or it has oil and things to help those nuts and bolts function without, you know, um, without, clench. What's the word I'm looking for? Without you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Everything has a complement in some form, and that's the same is true for energy. And really, in relationships, you should complement one another. You may have the exact same energy, you may not, but you should fit together without it being hard. Sometimes people don't fit together because it's not that they don't have enough in common or that they don't have things that complement one another. Some people don't want to make the effort. They don't care. They're not that interested. Or they're too into themselves to care or be interested, and they expect you to cater to them entirely, and they don't care to cater to you, or they expect you to cater to them first before they even cater to you. You don't want to deal with someone like that. That's a self centered person. That's a selfish person. That is someone who is, some of you guys are going to describe as a narcissist. I'm not really into that word, but that's someone who they're too self focused. Okay. And you don't want to deal with someone like that. So learn to recognize when you're dealing with people who carry that kind of energy, and make sure you understand that you're not carrying that kind of energy either. Okay. So, because sometimes we don't realize we might be carrying that energy. I know someone who I'm pretty certain they don't understand they're carrying this energy. They just think they're doing themselves. Like they're like, I'm doing me and I'm looking out for me finally once in my lifetime. But what they don't understand is doing you and looking out for you doesn't mean screw the rest of the world. It's all about me. That doesn't mean doing you. Doing you just means putting your best foot forward to make sure that you're not putting yourself in harm's way, making sure that you empower yourself, making sure that you, yes, you're looking out for yourself, but not if you have to step on somebody else to do it. Not if you have to be insensitive to somebody else to do it. Empowering and uplifting yourself and supporting yourself should not include or have the side effects of pushing someone else down or stepping on someone or shoving someone aside. If you have to put gently move someone aside or gently move away from someone to protect yourself because they're negative or they're not helpful to you in some form and they're trying to pull you down, that's different. But if you have to shove somebody, step on somebody, hit somebody, punch somebody, or drag somebody else down to lift yourself up, or be insensitive to someone, or ignore someone, you know, in a negative way, if you are negative any kind of way, even if you don't realize it, you're not actually doing you in a positive way. See, there's doing you in a positive way, and then there's doing you in a selfish, self-centered, ignorant way. Okay? And a lot of people don't realize in today's time that they confuse doing them for being self-centered, being too self-focused, being self-righteous, and being selfish. That's not doing you. A lot of people confuse those kind of energies for doing you. That's not it. That's just being full of it. Okay? Um, and if you're not careful to recognize these behaviors in yourself, then you could attract the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I know someone who they don't realize that's what they're doing. They don't. They will. You could have a conversation with them, and they will find some way to turn the conversation around from about you to it being about them. And they will do it sometimes in ways that reflects their insecurities. And if you're not careful, you could end up offending them without even meaning to, or wondering how did it even become about them and how did they get offended all of a sudden. People do this all the time, and you have to be careful people doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's someone who does not recognize that they are carrying negative, self-focused, self-centered, selfish energy, self-righteous energy, maybe even narcissism, and they're not paying attention to the fact that they are negatively impacting you or others by not recognizing it. Therefore, they're attracting what? Energy from other people that's negative because they're negative and they don't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? People have to be careful. Someone who is doing them, they're uplifting themselves in a positive way without dragging anybody else down, without being negative to anybody else. So pay attention to what you consider to be doing you, and pay attention to what other people consider to be doing them, okay? Because a lot of people, they lack understanding of what that means, or they lack the maturity to even care what that means. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm just, for now, I'm going to leave this at that. This video is 38 minutes, and I'll do some more talking about this, but I just want people to understand you attract what it is you are. You see in other people, you know, yourself, a part of yourself. Your other people mirror a part of yourself. So if you see something in other people that you don't like, don't say to yourself, "Oh gosh, I'm a terrible person." Just, you know, or think negative of yourself. Just keep in mind, just think and say, "Well, what is it that I'm doing, or what kind of energy am I carrying that is either allowing people to be this way with me, or is, or that I'm reflecting that they're sending back my way." Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Pay attention, be very observant, and understand we are very spiritual beings in a physical world, and we have to do our homework to understand how to function as spiritual and physical beings in this physical world that still is also a spiritual one. Just because you can't see the spiritual realm doesn't mean you're not a part of it. You're a part of it. You're in it. That's it's why we're here. And without that level of understanding and growth, your life is just it can end up being chaos or be what you don't want. If you want your life to reflect beauty, if you want your life to reflect success, you want to be happy, you have to create that for yourself, and you can. And it's as simple as recognizing who you are, how you are, and changing and improving for the positive, and observing and recognizing patterns and things, and do your homework and be willing to put the work in, because you can have a beautiful, happy life. You can attract healthy, wonderful partners and have great friendships and positive, supportive family relationships, and even be in a healthy, supportive work environment. You can have all of that, but you have to be that energy, okay? You have to um, be what it is you want to attract, and keep your mind focused on what it is you want to attract, not what you don't want to attract, because the universe will pull to you whatever it is you're focused on, okay? It does not understand the difference between what you do and don't want. Focus on what you do want, and try to, become that as much as possible in a healthy way, okay? Anyway, and with that said, I'm not telling you guys, because I got a feeling for some reason somebody might watch this and think, oh, if I want to look like Barbie or look like these celebrities, I should go out and get plastic surgery to look like them, or whatever it is you're thinking, or you should dress and behave like them. I'm not talking about something on that level. To me, that's on a shallow level. It's on, really, I'm not even talking about something is like that. I'm not. I'm not. Now, if you want to be healthy, you see someone who looks healthy in a magazine, be careful what you think is healthy. Being anorexic is not healthy. Being a size two, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are size two who aren't healthy. There are petite people in the world and they're healthy. But I'm saying find what's healthy for you. Okay? Find what's healthy for you and follow that model. What would make you comfortable? Okay? You don't have to be a size six or anything like that. But if you feel like you want to be healthier, maybe you want to be slimmer, find a healthy view of that, and then attempt to work out, exercise, eat healthier, don't starve yourself, things like that. So I'm just, and I'm not a big proponent on surgery to look like anybody else either. So you guys, if there's anybody looking at this video thinking that's what I'm talking about, no, that's not what I'm talking about. And I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying I don't want anybody to look at this video and then go do something that I wouldn't recommend them doing because they thought that's what I was talking about. It's not. I'm talking about spiritual energy, you guys, and creating your life and becoming what you want on a spiritual level so that it manifests in the physical realm and in your experiences. Okay, peace. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. And don't hesitate to comment and let me know, how you feel about this topic, and if you experience anything similar or whatever. I create these videos to share with you guys because it helps, it's helped me grow, it's helped me realize some things, and it helps you guys grow too, because my channel is not all about just doing tarot readings, psychic readings, or whatever. I'm also here to help you guys grow and elevate so that maybe one day you might not want to look at these readings for anything other than just pure entertainment, because I know that some of you guys are looking at these readings because you're hinging on hopes and desires that you're hoping me or another tarot reader or psychic is going to tell you tomorrow you're going to wake up, or next week or this month you're going to wake up and everything is going to work out perfectly. The love of your life is going to step through the door. You're going to run into the love of your life and you're going to win the lottery or get a raise. And these things can happen, but they happen through you putting in the work, okay? From you having an understanding spiritually what it is you need to do and the work you need to do, and be willing to put that work in, because these things, you don't just wake up and a good life happens. A good life happens because, for one, you recognize what it means to have a good life. You have a healthy perspective of that. You appreciate and have gratitude for the positive things you do have and the positive things that are going on. And you have an understanding of what it is you don't need in your life that has been caused you to have a less than content life or whatever, or less than satisfying, and you recognize what it is you do need and how to attract it or how to gain it, how to work for it or whatever. Okay. So that's the whole point of me doing these videos, is to help you guys grow and elevate these, in that way, so that you become empowered. And there are channels that if you go to my channel and look at the other channels that I recommend, there are other channels, Robert Blake's, Kelly Howe, um, I think Deepak Chopra, uh, Derek Jackson, um, TED Talks, TED Talks, TALKS, TED Talks. Look that channel up. There's so many helpful lectures on there that will help you guys grow and elevate on so many levels, intellectually, spiritually, as people, on so many different topics. And this is helpful for any gender, whether you're a male or female, guy or gal or whatever. Okay. So that's the one thing I love about TED Talks. Okay. All those lectures and videos on there, most of them are short, but they're to the point, and they're very helpful for anybody of any race, any color, any gender, any age. Um, Check them out and subscribe. Check a lot of the channels that I have on there, that I favorited on my channel. They're there to help you guys. Okay. Sorry, I still talked a whole lot. This is 46 minutes at this point. But if you follow what I told you at the beginning, which is to put the video speed on 1.5 or 2x, then you didn't watch this only in probably 20 something minutes. Peace.